Jim's gone in early with the singing again. What am I singing, mate? Haven't even started setting up the stream yet and you're already dropping that on me. Fuck me. Good song. And I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Good song. I'm fucking awful, mate. Let's just acknowledge that. That's all I got, mate. I didn't promise I was going to sing the whole song, Stevie. Come on now. That's crazy talk. Hello, celery. How does that song even start? I'm looking up the lyrics. Oh yeah, sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Alright, that's enough. Good choice, Jim. Good choice. Okay, Frog Jim. What's happening? You got Frog Jim and Normal Jim. It is fantastic CD. It was a bit young for me. I wasn't into the Chili Peppers then, but when they released Californication, yeah, I became a very big Chili Peppers fan at that stage. But Under the Bridge was my auntie's favourite song for a long time. Where are you based, my friend? Where are you based in the world, White Wolf? You're in Australia, aren't you? You're in Brisbane, aren't you? Yeah. Irresistible Force, mate. They sell a variety of brushes for significantly cheaper than other $60 places. Loken2410, I didn't finish her. Here she is. But when you work on a diorama like this with lots of different models, I don't like to go too far on a piece without just assessing how everything looks, because you really need to have, you know, all the pieces interacting with each other and make sense of the diorama. You want to have key visual points that you look at. You want to make sure the contrasts are all okay, all that sort of stuff. So she's not going to get probably touched until I've done this sort of level on everyone, and then I'll look at the whole piece and have a bit better idea. This is from Nocturna Models. I actually just did an Instagram post which has all of the manufacturers of all of these models. If you're interested in knowing where they all came from, just nip over to my Instagram and it has every manufacturer of all these models. So there was two models that inspired the diorama. The first was the model for Drizzt, but this one was the second one. I didn't think about doing the diorama until I found this guy, because that was there's not a lot of really good halfling models in this scale. There's plenty of female ones actually. There's plenty of good female halfling models, but yeah, you don't get a lot of good dudes halflings. Yeah, definitely go to Irresistible Force, mate. Lots of paintbrushes, huge variety of paints. They don't sponsor me either. I just talk about them because that's where I buy my shit. feel like Regis is a guy that's not going to listen to regular wisdom, and he's going to wear whatever the fuck colour clothes he wants because he's a fashionable guy. Go Regis. Yeah, that is where I go indeed. Much love for my peeps down at Irresistible Force. Have supplied me with hobby products for the last probably 20 years, I reckon. Irresistible Force opened in 2008, so not quite 20 years. 12, 13. Still pretty good. Yeah, well, it's in a different spot now, mate. 2010, it was over the other side of the road, over on Bryant's Road, fair way up. It's now on the other side of the highway, and in a much bigger space. So yeah, if you haven't been there since 2010, definitely get your ass there. Especially because you live on the Gold Coast, it's like 30 minutes drive, if that. Do it. Buy the Nocturna Topulus. You can do it. Oh, what's that we see on Regis's little cloak there? Is that a little gem? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, it's like 10 minutes past Beanley, if that, mate. Look at the little gem around his neck. It's gonna be a red ruby. Alright, so we talked a little bit about the lighting of this piece the other day. Oh, is that the same bit? No, different bit. Maybe it's the same bit. And I can't remember who it was. It might have been Topulus. Came up with a cool idea of doing like a sunrise type of feeling. So we're going to try for that. The angle on this guy will have him be pretty much front on with the sunlight, because he's sort of sitting like this while the rest of the people are front on. So instead of him having a side view of the sun, he's going to be facing into it. So we're going to do pretty normal light on this, but that is something that is something I've considered. So I've got the big piece here, and I'm just putting Caddy Brie in it now, just so we can just so I can show case what I'm talking about. So this is the diorama. Oh, that's a good view of it, Nano, you dickhead. Here we go. So this is the front on viewing angle, right? So we've got Caddy Brie. It's actually sort of like that. So we've got her slightly in the shade on her right, right on the screen. Regis is up here, and he's facing out that way. So he's going to catch all the sun in his face. So this is important to think about these things, right? Especially in this sort of diorama, because if your lighting is not consistent across all the models, it's a fucking piece of shit. So I've sculpted a little ledge for Bruenor to rest his hand on, and just integrated this a little bit more. So we're pretty much fine there. Everything else is all dried now, so we're pretty much good to go on the rest of the base. I filled this in and trimmed that bit, which is cool. So I'm just going to, there's a few little bits around the back that I want to do something about. So we'll just do some putty on those and then a bit of sand over them, just so it looks fine. Hello Ziramoku, Moko. So once I've filled those bits in and just neaten this bit up a bit. Hey, Miss Jonah, g'day fucker. So yeah, that's where we're at this juncture with all of the various bits and pieces. So that's what we're going to be focusing on with Regis, is sunshine in his face and lollipops. For me, Captain Carp, it is evening, mate. It's about 7 p.m. 7 p.m. for me, mate. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. And I'm also remembering that you basically said to me what you're going to do is not even use the fucking things. You're just going to buy them and then have them sit there and keep using that travesty of a knife anyway. So, here's what I think of that. Yes, that dollop is medium. Evening, mate. Okay, Tobes. You back in tomorrow night, mate? Or are you going to be scared about another storm, you reckon? Yeah, mate, I'll let you know if someone drops some water outside the front of their house, just in case you want to pike because of that. You know, whatever reason. Any port in a storm. Oh, he's a fashionable gent, Regis, isn't he? Look at him. He's a fashionable man with impeccable colour sense. That's a neato little mould line down there. Everyone see that bad boy right there? You know what I'm going to do about that? Absolutely nothing. Not even going to recognise that it exists. Do you know why? Because everyone's looking at him from this angle. So fuck that mould line. Fuck it. G'day, Bazoid. I'm perplexed by what this is. It's like just some weird bit of fabric. Just draping. Just draping like crazy. Fair enough. Good for you. Regis, have a little drapey thing. Dunno. Makes no sense. Watching the Bob Ross stream again just before. Love that man. What a great influence. And isn't it wonderful that people of our generation can still appreciate and enjoy His Majesty to this very day? Hey, thanks Ziramoko for... What's that, a hosting? Awesome, mate. Thank you. He's great. He's great. I just love Bob. I just love how calm, how excellent everything is. It's just great. Just glorious. We're going to crack out a new brush tonight, actually, friends. I just decided, made the call. Need a number 1. Oof. Look at this. Magic. Let's see if it's a dog shit one or if it's a good one. They've had some shockers recently, actually. Early signs are promising. Early signs are promising. Yeah, this brush I paid $20 for at Irresistible Force. It's a Winsor & Newton Series 7. Haven't all been great, full disclosure. Had some pretty ordinary ones recently. But the years of excellent experiences I've had with them. Yeah, mate. Irresistible Force, $20. Well, we have a stray hair. That's okay, I usually expect a few little bad boys that pop out. Well, mate, I reckon you could do what I did for the Panther, which is get yourself a friend with a 3D printer and get it done. Check out Loot Studios, mate. I was looking at them on my mini factory last night. Got some good stuff. Oh dear, we've already got some issues. Come on, little brush. I'll just give it a little soapy. Yeah, I remember there's a couple of Dragonborn models on there. Yeah, new brush. just hate soap. Ugh. Usually what I find is they have a few stray hairs that you just need to trim out, and then they're pretty good. But yeah, I haven't had a great track record with them recently. It's been pretty frustrating. So maybe time to delve into the world of new brushes. Oh, g'day Ace. How are ya? Hi Nan, if you're there. I replace my brushes once. They're pretty frequent actually. Most brushes last me about a month or 2 months. Look at this already, this bad boy. Yeah, people that, awesome, thanks Nan, hope you're kicking goals over there. Coming up on the big 9-0. Yeah, most people whose brushes last a long time probably don't paint as much as I do. Or they look after them better. Or little from column A, little from column B. You are very welcome, Topulus. Once again, Deno just changing hearts and minds all across the world. I could get a Nobel Peace Prize out of this stream, I reckon. Which one? Oz Painters, buddy? Yeah, I'm not a mod. Can't help you. Can't help you with that. I can poke a mod though. So this needs to be a shadow. Let's go in with some shadow highlight colors. This is what I enjoy most about the large scale projects like this, when you've got lots of different models. You really have to think about how everything works together. You can't just go, yep, I'm gonna paint all the model with this area with this highlight color and this area with this highlight color, and that's it, and I'm done. Because all of the models will have different elements that will reflect and interact, especially with this sunrise concept. We need to make sure that we're considering all elements of that at all times. So we're going to use warm highlights for this side and cold highlights for this side. So the cold highlights are using very similar colours over here. We've got the green that I mixed for the cloak, and then we've got warm colours for the warm highlights. Then we're mixing a little bit of dark purple, sorry, light purple, orchid light, great colour, and emerald, no, not emerald, verdigris. Oh look, some more of these little fuckers, you idiots. You little dickhead. I'll kill you, paintbrush. So for our warm highlights, we're going to use a little bit of orange, a little bit of a yellow, and I haven't even got my warm highlight colour out yet. G'day Norsefire. G'day Wumpasaurus. Wumpa, 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 wumpa. Dr. Flink, welcome. And thus we get a warm green highlight colour. We'll further reinforce this with some airbrushing, where we reinforce these light colours. Only 4.5 days ago till One Division, Paul, the finale. We've got another one of these little dickheads. Look at this little idiot. How many of these shit little strands do you reckon I'm going to pull out tonight? Oh, good man, Wumpasaurus. What colour does Regus's hair have? What colour's Regus's hair? I don't know that answer, friends. Is he brown, is he? I am doing well, Dr. Flink. I've had a great couple of days. It's been a great time for me in my life. I've got to do some painting. I got to hang out with my dog, and that's pretty much it. That's my life. So pretty good. I like it. G'day, Kevo. Tapes, just fucking tell me, mate. How good is it? It's so good. Just do whatever the fuck I want all the time. The best. That's a running gag, guys, between my Tuesday night games group. The guys who have kids are always like, "Oh, Deno, what are you doing?" And I say whatever the fuck I want. How good's that? And everyone gets salty. and assorted board games. So this colour, this blue colour in his pants, yes, Maracaibo, dark Prussian blue. Bob Ross was using Prussian blue on his stream earlier. I was like, yeah, good for you, Bobby. I'm right there with you, pal. Love some Prussian blue, mate. Get in and around my mouth. Maracaibo. It's all homemade, mate. All homemade. Very cheaply, I might add. $6 I think it cost, all up. I'm just going to do this as more cloak. I reckon this is just more cloak. I will happily show you right now, in one moment. We've got another fella. Look at this little dickhead. What does this guy think he's doing, eh? You're running with the wrong crowd, mate. You need to stick with the team. Right here is sponge cloth. Sponge cloth. This is a lid from a plastic container that I bought from Coles. It was on sale. And the sponge cloth goes inside this. And then you have baking paper. There's my baking paper that you lay on the top of the sponge when the sponge is moist. So the water level is quite high for my wet palette. Probably other people would not recommend that much water, but I recommend that much water because if I don't have that much water, every fucking thing dries out because Australia. Indeed. Yeah, you genuinely do have to adapt your wet palette to suit where you live because in Australia, the paint on the palette will dry out ultra quick. Even if you have everything perfect, it's still going to dry out really quickly. Just because, I don't know, humidity or lack of humidity or don't know, but it just dries out like a motherfucker. So if you don't account for that, you will not have a satisfying wet palette experience. No, you just adapt to whatever you got, mate. It doesn't really matter. Like what you get is when the color of the sponge is cold or like this blue, then all of the colors that you mix on the palette are influenced. Your eyes are influenced into thinking it looks colder, and so when you mix colors, you'll just naturally have them tend towards a colder blue scheme, Whereas when you mix colours on a warm yellow or a pink, then you'll have slightly warmer, more reddish tones. Just the way that your eye sees the colour on the palette. It's only a little thing. We've gone in a really interesting way with this guy. Looks like we're doing a little bit more brushwork than normal, as opposed to airbrush work. Yeah, it's a minor thing. Probably many people wouldn't notice it. It does have an influence. Now, you know what? I reckon we're still going to go airbrush crazy on this guy. Why not? When you've got skills to pay the bills, why not use them? What's up, Topulus? Did you do some airbrushing? When are you starting streaming, mate? Oh, skills to pay the bills with the songs. Yeah. What am I singing, mate? Remember, if I don't know the song, I get to pick. You are allowed to ask me if I know the song first, though. Depends on which Meatloaf song. All right. Fuck, I haven't heard that song in years. Let me Google the lyrics. Stand by. I know the main. That's okay. Cool. All right. And I would do anything for love. I'd run right into hell and back. Boom, boom. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. And I never forget the way I feel right now. Oh no, no way. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. We're trying to do some serious painting here, guys. Come on now. What song, Frog Jim? I don't know that song, mate. I'll give you a freebie. Oh, you're saying shut up, Deno. Roger that. Understood. One of my mods on. Ban that guy. Ban that guy. Frog Jim Jaff wants to hear Shakira. Did Randall tee this up? Did Nick and Jaguar tee this up? G'day, Zach. Look, I apologise in advance for this. Because I've just been asked to sing a song. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it right. The attraction, attention, don't you see, baby, this is perfection. You know I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, I'm starting to feel you, boy. Hey boy, I can see your body moving, and it's driving me crazy. And I didn't have the slightest idea till I saw you dancing. Didn't have to look up the lyrics for that. Hey girl, I can see your body moving, half animal, half man. Didn't have the slightest idea. Hello, ole, ole. Hello, ole, ole. Look, I'm going to tell you, thank you. I'm going to tell you that there's a really good a cappella version of Shakira on YouTube by a band called Out of the Blue. They're like a British a cappella group out of one of their colleges. I don't know which college. And it's like a Shakira mashup. It's fucking great. Love it. He goes straight from that bit. He goes into Africa. Samina mina, eh eh, waka waka, eh. Samina mina, by the way, it's time for Africa. Ooh, baby, when you talk like that. It's good stuff. Get into it. Get into it. Love a bit of Shakira. I apologise for that. Zach2244. It's just part and parcel of this stream that you'll have to put up with me singing, because people can pay points to make me sing very badly, and that is just something that I wildly regret adding to my stream. But I've committed to it now. It's locked in. You'll get to see me enjoy making an absolute fool of myself, whilst I make an absolute fool of myself painting. Oh look, it's a negative on this brush, friends. I've got a belter of a story, but I'm not telling it tonight. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for down the track. It is an absolute ball terror, and you'll all appreciate it significantly. But no, I shan't be telling that story tonight. It'll still work. We'll still get some good mileage out of it, but it's not the crystal perfection that I expect from a Winsor & Newton, which is a real shame. That was probably the quickest follow and unfollow you'll ever see, friends. From Zach2244. It's probably like, I've made a terrible decision. I really can't dispute that, Zach. Good for you, buddy. Alright, mate, I'm going to try, I already said on the stream earlier, I'm going to try some new brushes, because this is the third one on the hop I've had. that I'm not happy with. So that's it. Your track record of excellence only gets you so far, Windsor and Newton. I think I put singing as one of my tags still. Oh no, I took it off. I'm going to go at it. Look at this little fucker, another little fucker. You little piece of shit. Ah, awesome, mate. I think you'll enjoy it. Now, Cotton Eye Joe was look. It was great. It was great to get the plan rolling. But I think most people have had enough of Cotton Eye Joe now. I think I sung it like 6 times one night. I think we've all had enough of that. Start trekking with my 2 favorite allies. The thing is, I'm not going to change my brushes unless I have a problem, and because the consistency of the Windsor and Newtons over the last, literally, I would say 10 years of painting has been outstanding. But we've just recently, in the last 12 months, their quality control, whatever it is, it's just gone down. And I've had brushes like this one where the bristles are just all over the place, and I don't know why. Like, I'm sure they're not intentionally putting out a shit product, right? But it's definitely not where it was. Ah, you are most welcome, and you missed Hipstone Live from Shakira. G'day, Skiller Code. Thanks for following, champion. Fact. Fact. I'll be back in one moment. I was just getting some models to show off. I'm just going to might get another beer in a second. You'll be able to rewatch it, mate. It'll be there. Okay. In exciting news for the fans of Big Deno's stream, this model is going to go to one of my subscribers. She's going to dance. So there you go. This is going to get ruffled out to one of the people who are a subscriber. Yeah, it is awesome, eh, mate? It's a fucking great version. Please link it for sure. So at the end of this month, as long as we've got enough subscribers, we will. G'day, Tyler TixD. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Skiller. We're gonna raffle. Not raffle. You don't have to pay anything other than the subscription. I'm just gonna give it to someone. You don't have to pay anything. I'll even pay for shipping. Oh, Jim's straight on. He's like, I want fucking some of that. So that is exciting. I'm going to post about that on my socials. We've got a whole month, friends. Got a whole month. And this is the other one I painted. I finished this last week. I just like this model. I feel like it's pretty baller. Some glowy pinks and shit. Got my signature, man. Yeah. It does look uncomfortable. You're right. I would not enjoy that. I don't have a Patreon. No Patreon here, friends. It's all about that Twitch life. I think we're going to airbrush some stuff, friends. So, but I'm going to need another beer for that. Peroni! Peroni! Alright. Needs a little airbrush for this. Crazy. Lopez, if you go and have a look in on my page, there's a thing under videos, you can go see clips. Someone clipped it already, I'm pretty sure. Oh, on your Lord Shader. Good for you, mate. I hope you win just between you and me. Have you got a... Did you post the model? You want some critique? Where's your model? Did I miss it? Post a link. Post a link. Yeah, I'll put it... Maybe I should put a little picture somewhere on this. Oh, that's a good idea, friends. Yeah, give us... Yeah, mate, I'll give you critique anytime, mate. You don't even have to be a subscriber for that. All you have to do is post some pictures of your work. Randall's got 4K points. This is fucking dangerous. Someone, one of my mods, please ban Nick a Jaguar so he can't redeem his points. Victor Khan. Victor Kane. Victor. The Inflictor. Let's go find a good picture of that girl. This is great stuff. I love doing stuff like this live on Twitch. Makes me look very organised and professional. And I am all of those things. Oh, we need a browser, not that. Cancel. Browser. I'll fix this another time. Hey! Pay no attention to that, friends. It's going to disappear in a second. Duran. Oh, I think I need to change the dimensions of that. Awesome, mate. Victor, yeah, that's great, mate. Post some of your pics if you want, mate, of your models that you've sculpted. I did some sculpting on stream the other night. I'm not much chop, but we go okay. I'm working beautifully here, friends. Alright, that'll do. And then I can add text. Watch this, friends. I can add text to this. How good am I at this? Text. Okay. Fuck, what font did I use? I don't remember. I don't fucking remember. Okay. Whoa! Subscribe. This is great stuff. For a chance to win this model. Thanks for bearing with me, friends. We're going to do some airbrushing, so it's going to make it all worthwhile, probably. He says, hopefully. Here we go, that'll do. That's awful. That's an awful font. Great. Excellent. Shit. I remember how to make it small. Oh, this is professional shit up here, eh? How good is that? Lock that bad boy in. This is great stuff. Boom. Professional is my middle name, alongside Danger and Mad Dog. We're done. Alright. Professional as shit. Alright, here we go. Let's go have a look at Lord Shader's models. Oh, I think I have seen this already, actually. Where did I see it? I don't recall. But critique. Let's get ready for some critique. Well, that was just a very, very off-the-cuff decision. I'll fix it up properly soon. Here we go, Lord Shader. Oh, let's bring this to the top. Boom. Boom. There we go. Excellent. All right. So rules of critique are as follows: you get hammered. That's it. That's the rules. So my first thought when I look at it is I really like the orange to blue complementary colours, so you get that nice interaction between those two, and I like how that's been done from an angle from below at the back. Really nice, and looks like you've landed where those highlights or shadows should be pretty effectively. I'd probably raise the intensity of the light just down on the bottom portions a little bit of that blue, because you've got a really nice intense highlight on the upper shoulder. I think it'd be nice to add a little bit more contrast to that lower leg. This particular angle is shit house. Sorry, new follower, who are you? I'm going to look right now. I missed it. Thanks for following, friend. Just posted the chat so I know who you are, so I could say thanks. This angle is shit house compared to the other one, right? You don't have the contrast between blue and orange. Instead, you've got what looks to be a fairly... G'day, Scrabs. Thanks, champion. You've got a fairly monotonous area of orange. There's nowhere near enough contrast from light to dark. You know, on this angle you can see we go from light and then you get that really nice dark blue, but you don't have that same level of contrast here. It needs to be a dark orange, right? So brown or a whole red or whatever to really increase the contrast on that side. And you want to focus that on the lower half of the leg, because you want that upper portion to be really highly contrasted. Appreciate that spiny thing on his back's not finished, so I'm not going to comment on that, but I think that'll be really important to get right, because right now when you look at this angle, the face pops out. It's really nice, which is cool, but the spiny things will help or hinder your paint job, because at the moment that face is really nicely framed inside the horns in the black. If you go too light on the hair, it's going to pull your focus away from that face back towards the crazy hair, whereas I like it dark right now because it's sort of giving that face a little bit of power. I think you could go even higher again on the face contrast, like really up that particular area. But when you look at it compared to that shoulder there, I think probably too much higher might detract. Really like the leather and the horns. No critique on those. They're neato. I like them. But I don't like your metal. It's not. That doesn't feel like you've got the technique right. Like you've got the light in the right spots, but the colour's too desaturated for me. I like a little bit more saturation in there, a little bit more intensity of colour, particularly for the blue. Like I think you could do some of that blue on the underside of that horn that's on our right hand side. But overall, mate, really dig it. I think that's going to be a really impressive piece when you finish it, and make sure you share with everyone when you do so we can enjoy the finished product. Professional shit! Yeah, they're supposed to be a gold, I think. G'day, Viking with the brush. Frog Jim would love to give you some feedback, mate. Pop it in the chat. I'm just doing a wee spot of airbrushing right now. We'll get onto it after I finish that, mate. Let's do this. Don't be weak, Wamposaurus. And friends, generally in the chat we have a number of other great painters as well who will provide fantastic feedback, so don't be afraid to post your stuff in there. Oh, Last of the Mohicans. How fucking good is it? It's my number one movie of all time. Well, Avengers Endgame probably overtook it actually, but it was number one movie for a long time. Trying something a little different here. Oh, Unkas! Yeah, so good. I'm going to talk about my favourite author tonight. Actually, I've been meaning to talk about him for a while, and I keep forgetting. But I'm going to talk about my favourite author. And I'll what you just said reminded me of my favourite author, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis, incredible. And how unlikable is that fucking... Oh, Gemmell in the house. You guys got it. How unlikable is that British officer? I saw him in another movie. Fuck, he was good in that other movie too. Unlikable, fuck. good stuff. Speaking of unlikable people, I watched Outlander the other day. My girlfriend and I watched Outlander. We watched most of the first season. It was pretty good. And g'day Hans Peterson. G'day mate. We're not going to watch anymore. The first season was enough. I didn't like love it that much, but it was fine. But anyway, I think his name's Tim McInnery. He plays this preacher. He always plays nice dudes. And fuck man, he's so malevolent. It's the best. He's a dude from Blackadder. What's his name? He plays Percy. Is it Tim McInnery? I can't remember. I'm sure it's something like that. Fuck, he's unlikely. Yeah, he's fucking... Oh, he's so good. I dug it. I dug it a lot. Hey Jen, thanks for shouting it out, mate. I thought I was right, but you never can tell. Had a couple of beers. So overall, what we're going to see on this model, yeah, I know. I might put it on. Actually, can I do that? No. Will I get in trouble if I play a little bit of that on my YouTube, like in YouTube in the background? Am I going to get in trouble for that? Will I get sued or banned from Twitch? Fair. Well, I shan't be doing that then. Alright, so what we're trying to do here, friends, is we're trying to create some warmth. And we're doing that via contrast paints, because as you all know, I love contrast paints. And some other scale fantasy colours, which are slightly translucent. So that was what we did there. And now I'm going to add some shadows, attempt to add some shadows. So we're going to see a so this is sort of the angle that you're looking at on the model. So we're going to see mostly warm on this side. Yep, spraying contrast paints, and mostly dark on this side. So that whole side, this angle, will look a little bit weird. But when it's on the rest of the model, we should be a little bit right, a little bit more right. Just going to hair dry that. Sorry, friends. Yes, I am indeed spraying the contrasts. So that one was black and Prussian blue. Do you guys ever hate me at how like shit stuff looks, and then I do some airbrushing and all of a sudden it looks fucking baller? Does that piss you off? Because it pisses my friend Gavin off. So I was like, how the fuck do you do that? Oh, loophole. Just for that. Just for that. I can make myself sing. Suck it, Trebek. Suck it, Trebek. Ha ha. Suck it long and suck it hard. I don't know how to sing. I get to decide for myself. Bit of Adele. I can't keep up with your turning tables under your heart. I can't read. I won't let you close enough to hurt me. No, I won't. Well played. Well played. I can't give you what you think you gave me. It's time to say goodbye to turning tables. I don't think we'll be going for the voice. This is always a bit of an interesting time for me, the airbrushing, because I do mix a lot of stuff and make a lot of stuff up. And right here, I'm not really doing anything with a concrete plan. I'm just adding colours that I want it to have. So for example, I want to stick in a very cold palette because we're obviously looking at Icewind Dale, which is a cold climate. And so your cold colours are from green to purple on the colour wheel. So we're sticking in that sort of range, but sometimes you've got to add some more colours. Oh no. Mate, you've built it up now. It's never going to live up to the hype that you've awarded it. That's enough airbrushing, I think. We'll do some brush work and this should all start looking like magic. Magic. Alright, let's talk David Gemmell. Fuck, I love David Gemmell. So when I was a very young man, I read a book. I was in grade 3 or 4. And I used to read a lot. I was an avid reader. And I read well above my age bracket. And I got put in this class at school called the Advanced Readers Club, ARC. It was fucking full of the best peeps out. I was there. And I read this book. It's called Lion of Macedon. And I was talking to my teacher about Lion of Macedon. I was like, because we had to talk about the books we read. And I was just like, straight into fantasy. Never read anything but fucking fantasy and sci-fi novels. So I'm sitting there, and the teacher's like, "Tell me about Lion of Macedon." And I'm like, "Oh, it's this fucking fantastic book about a made-up character whose name's Parmenion, and he's a general in this made-up place called Sparta." And my teacher was like, "You're a fuckwit, kid." Because obviously all of those places are actually, and people were actually based on real events, and I never read that. It even says it at the start of the book. It gives a little thing. It says, yeah, this is based on a real person. Although the story's made up, that people are real and all this other shit. And I didn't realise that. I didn't even realise that until the second book. It was called, what was the second book called actually? Dark Prince, I think. Dark Prince. Something like that. Well, in Dark Prince, it's about Alexander the Great. Good book series. Anyway, but I fell in love with David Gemmell around that time, and I read pretty much every David Gemmell book that he ever wrote. I think the only one I haven't read is a book about, I don't know, spelunking or something. Hands, it's 8 PM for me, mate. But the rest of his books, I have physical copies and have read every single one of them. By the way, the reason I'm talking about this will become evident soon. We were talking about Last of the Mohicans recently. And my love affair with David Gemmell continued to grow the more books I read, and he died a few years ago actually, and I was absolutely shattered, like genuinely devastated when he died. I was more upset about David Gemmell dying than I was about Robert Jordan dying, and he had a fucking unfinished book series, so that should give you some indication. And the reason I say that is because the one thing that David Gemmell has done more than any other author I've ever read is just make me feel something and make me want to be a better version of myself. Like I have read lots of books, lots of stories. Yet I haven't read his wife's books. So yeah, I knew he died and she finished his series, but it was 50% written. But I did feel like you could tell when she had to finish it off because it didn't have the same way with words. The one thing that he does right is he manages to create an incredible story, like a limited amount of words. Like he's not flowery with his prose. He doesn't do a lot of descriptions about things. You know, he's very succinct and he focuses on the real core of things. And what I found is it just resonated with me every time I read one of his books. And one of the books I read was one of his later series that he wrote. It was called the Regante, or Regante, however you pronounce it in your head. I always pronounce it Regante in my head because I'm Australian. And in the Regante series, it's basically set in Scotland. A lot of his books were set in Scotland, or his version of Scotland, and you know they're all about honour and sacrifice and you know, what being a man was about. And when you read about the guy David Gemmell's history and you know how he was raised and stuff, it becomes even more fascinating to hear about his or to read his books and to understand what he's about. But the Regente series was, I think, his finest work. It's my most favourite series that he wrote. As much as I love all the Druss books and all the other books he read, and you know, at any given time I could probably name any one of those as my favourite, but the Regente series is, to this day, the only book series I've read maybe 4 or 5 times that makes me cry every single time I read it. I've read it 5 times and I still fucking cry at this one moment in one of the books. Regente, Drax, R-I-G-A-N-T, by David Gemmell. I'm not going to say which book it is and I'm not going to say when, just in case anyone hasn't read it or wants to read it. If you're interested to know what moment it is, I'm happy to share that, you know, whisper or whatever it is. But without fail, I've read it 5 times. The worst one of these was when I was sitting in the shopping centre across the road from my house. And here's the thing, I fucking knew it was coming, right? I knew it was coming. I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh, this bit's about to happen. I'm good. I've read it before. I'm fucking going to be fine. I'm sitting there eating my lunch, you know, just at the fucking food court, just having to chow down on some Hokkien noodles or whatever the fuck I was eating. Just like, I'm reading my book. I do that. I like to go there and just have a nice private time with Dano. So I'm sitting there and I'm reading this book, and I'm like, I'm right in the middle of it, and fuck, I just got tears running down my face, and I'm like, fuck. I thought I was going to be okay, and I was definitely not okay. But I love the fact that I can have such an emotional reaction from a piece of art, a book, a movie, a TV show, because I think that when you lose that, I think that's when you struggle in your life. If you can't appreciate something like that and enjoy it, and one of my friends he's a lovely guy, Moopsy, you'd all remember him. Maybe he's messed up from the psychological damage we did. Hello, Cujo, from Pete LeBlanc. But he just talked to me recently about how he doesn't get excited anymore. You know, his life, he's in his 30s now, and he just misses that spark of enthusiasm about things in his life. I said to him, well, mate, why don't you just be better? He's like, that's really helpful advice, Dan. I said, thanks, mate. But yeah, David Gemmell, the Regente. David Gemmell, mate, come on. Cujo, who else? The finest writer of heroic fantasy ever. I did, yeah. And the same mentor figure appears in all of his books, and yeah, that's why when you read about Gemmell and you hear about his life and stuff, you know, he had as I understand, he had an abusive father, and his mum left, and his stepfather basically raised him, and his stepfather was, yeah, one of the great men, made mistakes just like we all do, but did his best by this little kid who was a bit shy and a bit introverted. It is a set of 4 book straps, spot on. First one's called Sword in the Storm. Second one's called Midnight Falcon. Third one's called Ravenheart. And the 4th one's called Storm Rider. Storm Rider. I'm going to have a look at your whisper. Yep. Bang on, Sharkwald. Bang on. So I made my girlfriend read it, right? My girlfriend reads a lot of books. She's awesome. She reads heaps. But she reads like English literature and like fucking modern fiction, Pulitzer Prize winning books and shit like that. And I'm always like, ugh. Wow. So she actually read the first book, Sword in the Storm, and we talked about it afterwards because she enjoyed it. She hasn't read any of the other books in this series, but she enjoyed that book. And I said to her, the thing that impresses me most is just how few words he uses to convey stuff that makes me feel. Like I can't even express how much those books and any of his books really make me feel and make me want to be a better person, which I think is a lovely sentiment. Now, I was reminded of that moment when someone was talking about Last of the Mohicans and Uncas dying, because that's another moment where I was like, I was bawling the first time I watched that. Fuck me. Uncas! Yeah. Fucking hell. So that story just reminded me of David Gemmell and how he makes me feel the same way as watching a movie can make me feel. He's not going to blow your mind with any flowery words and stuff, although he did write a book which is called Echoes of a Great Song. Echoes of a Great Song? I think it was Echoes of a Great Song. Where he did experiment with a little bit more like flowery writing and some poetry and stuff. And it is magnificent. Because everything he touches turns to gold. It's amazing. Oh yeah, if you're just going to read one, I would definitely recommend the Regente. A little Regente. That's I believe that's his best work. A lot of his earlier stuffs are a lot shorter, and they're still great. Still great. Still recommend getting through all of his back series. But yeah, you'll if you enjoy the Regente, you'll be fine. If you don't, you can move on. You read Gemmell Cujo? Oh, fuck me. And you call yourself a member of the United Kingdom. Wow, yeah. I had a great dad. He's a legend. Still do, actually. Oh, wow. This will go down as my crowning achievement, friends, as introducing a new generation of people to David Gemmell. Fuck, I would love to do that. I would love to do a Drust diorama. Fuck yeah. Skill gunning. Yeah, Drax, mate. If you're a reader at all in any way, shape or form, yeah, just go and get it. Just get it done. You'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. For every person that's into this hobby, those books will just hit you right in the jats crackers. G'day, Jim. Stonebeard Jim. Yeah, that's on my list. Haven't read it yet, but it's on my list, so we'll get there eventually. Got a lot of books on my list. At the moment, I choose to prioritise my painting rather than my reading, but every time we go overseas, man, I get some fucking reading done. Pisses my girlfriend off to no end. I do two things. We went on holidays many years ago, 2019, for Monty and SMC. We were there for 5 weeks. SMC is the end of October. Monty's start of November. And we did a lot of travel across Europe and stuff, so we had a lot of downtime, as you do when you're travelling on planes and trains and what have you. So I had my little Kobo, my little Kindle, and my phone, and I played Through the Ages. And I reckon I read 19 books when we were overseas. Fuck, she was angry at me about it. Not really, but... Oh, beautiful, Fazoid. Beautiful. Well, my next stream's on Wednesday, and I will be surprised if you have not read that book by then, because I don't reckon you'll be able to put it down. Alright, I just pulled Caddy Brie off here. I just want to have a little bo peep. Get in your hole! Why would you get in your hole? You're too good for your hole. So I just want to feel the lighting. Definitely need to add some more warmth to this one, particularly on this side. Yeah, I think that's working okay. We're going to do a lot of back and forth, friends. We're going to be pulling models out, looking at stuff, thinking about how they interact, talking about light. I've done several of these dioramas now. Oh, lucky 00072. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome Lucky to the stream. Hey, mate. I don't do that voice for everyone, just so you know. Oh, fuck, I love David Gemmell. Fuck. No, I don't have an intro. I used to have an intro when I started Oz Machine. I used to go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Oz Machine episode, whatever episode it was. I'm your host, Big Deno. And tonight, all the way from beautiful Canberra, we have James Moops Magic Morehouse. But no, I don't have one for this. I was thinking about starting an intro song that I could sing. Ba-dum bum bum bum, give me a hive among the gum trees, with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a two and a kangaroo, clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. Sorry, Loopy. I'll stop, mate. I know you don't come here for the singing. I know you come here for the magnificent quality painting. So this face is actually a really good... I can redeem myself. I'll go redeem it myself. Yes. Boom. This little patch of face is a really good spot to actually talk about the shadows. So this is his front-on angle with the warmth, sort of like that. So what you get in this sort of spot here is we're going to have highlights on this area, and then we're going to have a couple of highlights here, but this area is actually going to be in shadow. So it's a little bit different to how you'd normally highlight this sort of face and this sort of volume, because you have to be aware of the lighting from both directions. So we'll actually keep tweaking as we go, this whole section. Oh, a bit much there, didn't I? But we will get there eventually. This is going to take some time to get this right, but I think this is going to be the thing that elevates this piece now. We can all thank Topulus for that idea, friends. It's a great idea. I was just going to do a snow scene. Be like, yeah, look how good I am at doing snow scenes. And now we're going to incorporate some cool lighting effects as well. Just remember, friends, I've got to know the song. Now, I'm not saying I don't know Whitney Houston, I'm just saying if I don't know the song, I'm not going to sing it. So, Topulus, I'll give you an artist's credit on this piece, mate. Surprised no one's gone for Cyndi Lauper. Girls just want to have fun yet. That is a true fact. I did convince Randall that I had made the top 100 on Australian Idol for a long period of time. And I don't think to this day he still actually knows whether I did or not. Frosty, subscribing, thanks buddy. You will go in the draw, which we'll be doing at the end of the month, to win Bubba Yaga. If you are the lucky recipient, you may indeed request a signed selfie. I will be able to sort one of those out. I think I've actually got one sitting over there. That's not even a lie. That's a... Oh, Jan! You're amazing! You're amazing, Sharkwalt! There's a story behind this, right? So I had, when I was... When I had, oh, we're gonna hype train! I had a couple of Chinese collectors that were getting right into buying my stuff, and one of them sent me a message. He's like, "Hey mate, I love this model. I've got this display at my house of all my models that I've bought. Can I request something a bit weird from you?" I was like, "Yeah, mate, anything you want. I'm happy to help you out." He's like, "Oh, all the artists who have got models on, we've got like headshots." Headshots of themselves that they've signed. So can you take a photo and print it out and send it to me? I said, "Sure, mate, sure." And I wasn't sure if he was having me on, but he sent me a photo. He actually did. So yeah, I sent him a picture of Big Dano. Just doing these ones. Big signature down the bottom. My pensive face. I don't know if I've still got the photos on my WeChat, and I think that got deleted. Mopatron! Yeah, boy! We got a hype train. What are we going to sing? Someone's redeemed a song. Oh, it's Big Dano! What a legend! For the hype train. What are we going to sing? You can all decide. It's a hype train, friends. Get amongst it. Fucking have a go. Cyndi Lauper. How's it? I didn't say I was begging for it. I said I'm surprised no one's made me do Cyndi Lauper yet. I don't remember how the song starts. If you're lost and you look and you will find me time after time. I was going to do Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That's a good one. I come home in the morning light. My mother says, when you gonna live your life right? Oh, mama dear, we're not the fortunate ones. And girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have. That's all they really want. Sorry, Lord Shader. Yeah, Megapedia, I apologise for that, mate. That's everyone's fault from the hype train. Alright, I'm going to do some painting. Stop distracting me, hype train. I'm trying to do some serious painting, guys. Yanamart, I've stopped. Serious stream. It's a serious stream. We're very serious about painting here. I'll have you know I am actually a very serious painter. I try very hard. I can't help it if I've just got star power and charisma. So, on your topulus. Boo, 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 hype train, boo, boo, boo. Thanks, Megapedia. Appreciate that, mate. I don't normally sing Cyndi Lauper awfully, but we've got a hype train going on, mate, so why not? Get amongst it. Gotta have a go. Get on the hype train! And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Bum, 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 bum. Show me a smile. Don't be unhappy, though I realize it's hard to take courage. Boo, 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 boo. My sister actually sung Cyndi Lauper. My sister's a very good singer, actually. She's really great. And my brother-in-law, her husband, he plays guitar. That's actually how they met at their church, hanging out singing songs. And boo, 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 hype train, boo, boo. And yeah, so the night he proposed to my sister, they went out for dinner at a restaurant. I am winning rap battles actually at the moment. I'm ahead in rap battles at work. So my sister actually sang True Colours by Cyndi Lauper at a restaurant. They were out at a restaurant, nice restaurant in this place up in the hinterlands of the Sunshine Coast called Montville. And they were having... amazing. I got a choo-choo hype train. Yeah, so they had a little area where people play fucking songs at the restaurant, and they don't. They didn't have anyone playing that at the time, and my sister was like, my fiance and I just got engaged today. Can we sing a song? So she did. They got up on stage, and for the restaurant they sung like 2 or 3 songs. But they sung True Colours by Cyndi Lauper. I wasn't present, unfortunately. That was their engagement dinner. But yeah, she did. She's a really good singer, my sister. Significantly better than I am, anyway. The Spice Girls. I can do the Spice Girls. That is something I can do. And you could probably pick any of about 25 songs and I can do them. My favourite Spice Girls song is Viva Forever. There you go. A little fun fact for everyone. Pat Benatar. Yeah, I could do Pat Benatar probably. The only song of hers I know, that is. What do you mean? What am I doing? This? You mean the hair? Is that what you're talking about? I'm just putting a big blob of shit on the hair. We did what, in my household, we watch a lot of fucking Spice World. I reckon I watched it 10 times when I was a little fella. And about 15 times when I was older. Last week. Have faith, Meepatron. Have faith in the Big Nielsen. He won't let you down, mate. Got a fair idea what I'm doing these days, pal. Fair idea. Hype train. That's fun. Hype trains are great. I like them. What a great innovation that is from Twitch. We got hype trains, we got all sorts of shit. How good. Anyway, if anyone's just joining the stream and they haven't seen up the top there, I just put a little picture of a model I painted on stream. And that model is going to go to a subscriber at the end of the month. We'll do a live draw on the channel, and we'll send that model to one of the great subscribers and supporters of Big Deno stream. It's going to be awesome. There's always a good time to dry brush, friends, and that time is now. What a substandard painter I am, eh? Oh, thanks, Yanama. I think so. I like it. Well, congratulations and good luck to you, friend. I hope you are the one who wins it. I've said that to about 4 people, and I'll probably say it to everyone, because I hope you all win it, friends. I truly do. If I could paint 100 of them and give them to all of you, I would. Unfortunately, I cannot. I grew up in a household of my mum, who was an avid Spice Girl fan, my sister, who was an avid Spice Girl fan, and myself, who was an avid Spice Girl fan. But I wasn't an avid Spice Girl fan until my sister and my mum listened to it. But by that stage it was too late. I was already in. I was already pot committed. Ginger, every day. All about that ginger life. That's not even a lie either. And my girlfriend's a ginger now too, so. But yeah, I was all about ginger. Went through a phase of liking posh. But yeah, no, all about that. Ginger life. Wow, I didn't know that. Moopsy, did you ever play in any of those shows? Broadway, any of them? Moopatron? We've got a bona fide musical celebrity in the chat tonight, friends. Moopatron. Ba-dum bum bum bum, give me a home among the gum trees. Yep. Flixter, you may not know this about me, mate, but I am actually a gun poker player. Absolute gun. One of my sideline gigs when I was a younger man, when I say sideline gigs, I mean what I used to do in my spare time, was a bit of the old online poker. I made a shit ton of money out of that. I was working in my pedestrian day job where I used to flog myself, and I'd come home and I'd play poker for 8 hours, 10 hours. Fuck, mate, I withdrew some money from that account. I reckon in 6 months I withdrew about 15 grand from poker. Started with a hundo. Thanks again to all the hype trainers. That was awesome, by the way. I still actually don't know what's happening, but it's fucking so fun. I reckon I can bang out 100 busts. Probably. Now we used to do this thing called the Warhammer Poker Tour. It was classic fun because we all played Warhammer, and we would play the Warhammer itself, and then we would all hang around, and we ended up having, like, I think at one DogCon, one tournament, we had like 80 players, 80 of the 150 people that were playing. Hung around for the poker tour. I was always the organiser, so I'd just get everyone to chip in $10, and you know, we'd run like 8 tables or 10 tables or whatever, and it was fucking awesome. WPT we used to call it, the Warhammer Poker Tour. That was awesome. That was in the peak. The very first WTC trip I overseas, when we went to Munster, we had a week beforehand where we travelled around Germany, and I'm remembering some of the things that occurred on that trip. We're staying in Munich. We'd flown into Munich, and we were hanging out in the beautiful town of Munich. We went to the Hofbrauhaus. I was with my mate Chuck, and I am a Renaissance man. Thank you for noticing. I'm actually going to grab some photos of this because fuck, it was classic, and I'll just show everyone. So this trip we had 10 guys. The main crew was myself, Chuck, Charles Black, who Moopsy knows quite well, Lachlan McWhirter, and a couple of other guys. And I'm going to find some pictures. And so we did a little holiday before we went to the actual tournament, and the holiday was all through Germany. So the tournament was held in a little town called Munster, which is on one side of Germany, and we flew into Berlin. No, where did we fly into? I think we flew into. Shit, I can't remember. I think we flew into Munich. Yeah, we flew into Munich, and we landed in Munich. So we're staying at this little hotel, and all we were doing was poker. We used to play fucking so much poker. Like I brought my poker chips on the holiday, and pretty much every night we'd go down to whatever bar, whatever place we could find, and we just get on the beers and play some poker. And we had a ripping good time, right? Absolutely legendary time. Here's the crew. Here is the crew. I'll show everyone. This is the boys from this particular year's holiday. So that's all the boys. You probably recognise some of the lads there. We've got Jeff Galea there, Guns Galea beside me, Chuck's beside Guns, Evan the Doombull Ferris, big AG up the back there. We've got Gavin Clark, Jeff Traish, just legends. Tom Holloway, Jeff Galea, all the best, all the lads. That was at a Greek restaurant in Munster. Yeah, I recorded all this on video, right? So I think this is still on my YouTube channel. You can still go and watch my videos. But we here's a young Deno. This is at about 8 a.m. in Munich. We just landed that day, and yeah, so just straight into it. Looking sharp, Deno. Loving the pimps. So, this one night we're in Munich, we went to the Hofbrauhaus, we got smashed on Weiss beer. Absolutely smashed on it. And I'm going to look through my photos. Absolutely plastered on Weiss beer and pork knuckle and everything. We had a ripping good time, right? We were at the Hofbrauhaus for about 4 or 5 hours. We got back home to the bar and to the hotel we were staying at, and we went downstairs to the restaurant and talked to the guy who was in charge of the restaurant. And I don't fucking remember his name, but he was a good character. He was like an Indian guy. He was living in Berlin, and we all just were blown away by this. So we ended up asking him if we could play poker in the restaurant. The restaurant closed at 9. We'd been at the Hofbrauhaus since about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and so we rocked up and it was like 8:45. And we were like, oh mate, can we have a can we just use a table, like, because he didn't lock it up or anything, but there was no food being served after 9. So we were like, oh mate, can we just pull together some tables? We just want to play some cards and stuff. We'll hang out. And he's like, no gambling, no gambling. And I'm like, no. Of course, we had a running tally of like a fucking a notebook where everyone's like, okay, Lockie owes Deno $15, Jeffy owes Deno $40, Doombull, everyone owes Doombull $10. You're like, because we were just basically buying $10 every night, and we played like, I don't know, 30, 40 games of poker. Anyway, so we're sitting in this bar, everyone's already off their head, and we started playing poker, and we're having the funniest time, like just having a classic. And this guy, that's Chuck, what a legend. So this guy, I can't remember his name, he was fucking so great. I'm scrolling through my Facebook, by the way, trying to find his picture. So he's just like, he's having the best time listening to us, just gas bag. Like, his English was pretty good, but we were just hanging shit on each other the whole time. And he comes over to us and he's like, hey, can I sit in? Can I play a couple of hands? We're like, fucking come in, mate, get in. Got no idea. And so anyway, this dude starts sitting down and playing poker with us. It's about 11:30 at this time, right? And we've got to get up at 7 a.m. the next day to drive across the country to Munster on the other side of the country. And this dude is fucking going. He's going crazy, and he screams something out in German. He's like, "The Fangela!" And we're like, what? Anyway, some dude fucking wanders out from the kitchen and he's carrying this tray of grappa. I don't know what it was. It was fucking rocket fuel. And he's just put down like 10 glasses on the table, and this dude just starts pouring. He's like, drink! And so we all just start doing shots with this guy playing poker. And it got very, 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 very messy. We got even more inebriated than after spending 6 hours at the Hofbrauhaus playing poker with this magnificent German Indian man in his restaurant, illegally gambling for money. And he just kept feeding us free drinks all night, and it was a fantastic experience. I ended up about $100 up that trip, by the way. Almost paid for my whole trip on poker winnings. The best. Everyone was quite good though, in that group. Moops, you might remember. Moops used to get cleaned out every fucking time we played. Absolutely cleaned out. Wow, there's some fucking old photos I'm scrolling through now. Oh, here's Big Deno at footy. Oh, let's get that on the stream. Fuck yeah, you guys can see Big Deno in his prime. Big Deno in his absolute prime. Look at the big units. Boom. I was back in my rugby league days. Big second rower. Carving up. Alright. We're almost there now. That's a long time ago, that. Ah, good times. Wow, those trips. So the next day, Chuck, the guy who was wearing the hat, we used to call him Bumbles. And that day, we ended up calling him Bumbles because that was the day he earned the nickname. Because we had to drive from one side of Germany to the other side. And the guy's driving was fine, right? On the autobahn, he was fine. But when it came to like making a decision about parking, like he just used to fucking fluff around. And this one time he fucking tried to pull into a park, and he changed his mind halfway through, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm not going to park there." It was fucking awful. So we ended up calling him Bumbles because he bumbled the car park so badly. Here's a great photo of me with one of my fans. Talked a lot about my fans. So here's a picture of me with one of my biggest fans. You're all very welcome. Great stuff. Alright, here we go. Fucking classics. Oh shit, forgot about that girl. Dated that girl. She was great. Liked her. Here we go. Ah, Germany. What a time. What a time to be alive. Guns used to walk around wearing aviators and a camo hat back in that time. So I sent him this photo one night just to piss him off. That was way after Sharkwild. That was in my second season or my third season. That was actually in what hotel was that in? I can't remember. I think it was in Venice. But this fucking trip, like the whole time, we went out to a Mexican restaurant on the river in Munster. And it was all 10 of us. Everywhere we went, we just went out for dinner with the 10 of us. Like we'd have to make reservations in advance. But yeah, so the 10 of us went out to this restaurant. It was on the river. It was out in the middle of thing. It was just fantastic. And I'll fucking tell you this story. This is fucking stupid too. Oh wow, forgot about that. Yeah, so we at this Mexican restaurant, and everyone is just getting smashed on strawberry daiquiris, having the greatest time. That is me climbing up a bridge, and it was a fucking very, very stupid thing. Oh, Wally! The best thing about this trip is we used to have this little wombat, and his name was Wally. He was just a little mascot. We took him everywhere. He was great with the ladies. The ladies loved him. It was a long way up. I climbed up that with no regard for safety. Current day Deno would be very unhappy with that from a safety perspective. Anyway, so we just used to get would be like, "Hey, chicks, can you take a photo with our mascot?" So we just took heaps of fucking pictures with chicks holding the wombat. I got about 30 of them on my Facebook page. It's good stuff. That's Colette, by the way. She came to Australia to hang out. She was great. Anyway, most of the photos are probably not safe for public consumption, but if you want to watch some videos of that trip, the very first videos on my YouTube are videos of that trip. I was a special scribe and I interviewed everyone and did some great stuff. Some of my best work on and that. So there you go. Little walk down memory lane. Mate, I use a couple of browns, but what we've done here is we've used a scale 75 colour, and it's called Orange Leather. And the orange leather is very, very nice colour. I use it a lot for hair. Gives a nice finish, but to sell it as hair, you have to do these little ones. Then we're going to do some glazes of an orange colour because we want it to look warm. I think I got onto that story because of poker. Anyway, because I said pot committed. Yeah, well there you go. So story time will just happen when something triggers a memory that is funny. Any mods on tonight? We need to ban Randall, Nick Jaguar, because he's about to reach 5,000 points. Just someone ban him so that he can't make me sing. That would be great. No gifting of points allowed, mate. Actually, I don't know if can you do that? Is that something you can do? I'm not really an expert Twitcher over here, friends, so I'm probably not the right person to ask. I did have that name for a while, yes. Flick would be impressed. He's a bit of a drifter in his spare time. No, I'm not really a gearhead at all. I'm actually probably the least mechanically minded person I know. What are bot points? Yeah, Flickster was a mad drifter, weren't you, mate? Used to do it like crazy. But you did it properly. You did it like on a track and stuff. Fuck, I'd train that Peroni pretty quick. I'm thirsty again. Monday night though, friends. Indeed, we did all start out on the roads. That's cool, Flick. Isn't it interesting how this hobby just attracts all sorts of different people? You know, like car heads and computer gamers and fucking sports people. Like I've met just people from many spectrums of life. Some of them are friends. A friend of mine, Moopsy's a musician, right? Moopsy's a fucking musician. Started playing piano and shit. And yet we all have this connected feeling because we have a shared interest. It's fantastic. G'day, Ugly81. I'm sure you are anything but ugly. That's an unfortunate handle. At least your parents didn't give you that handle though. That's ugly. Well, that is also fine. Imagine if your parents called you ugly. Excellent. I have an aversion to Finnish people. I'll tell you why. Because in the 2014 WTC, my team and I were on the final table for going for the World Champion trophy, and we played against Finland, and the fucking Finnish people beat us. The Finns beat us. Fucking Finnish guys. They were the nicest guys. I changed shirts with my guy. He was a fucking beautiful man, lovely man. Really liked my game we had. But yeah, they were awesome. There was one of the guys on the team. He had the best name. We always used to say it. His name was Tatu Perhonen. We used to love saying his name, Tatu Perhonen. Love that guy. So yeah, fuck the Finns. Fuck you, Finns. I hate you all. I don't really, mate. I'm sure you're a top dude. Yeah, it was fantastic actually. The WTCs, we got to meet so many amazing people, and yeah, that event, fantastic. No, I'd smoke poker players, mate. They call me Daniel Negreanu of Australia. They call me the Aussie Unabomber. Fuck, I can have a gibber, eh? Absolutely can have a gibber. Yeah, how good was that guy? He was awesome. Did everyone catch that photo of me with one of my fans? AC Miniature. I do have quite a few models left to go, mate. This is only model number 2. We got 1, 2. That's where we're at. Early days. Very early days. Oh, still rebel! Raid! G'day, mate. How you going? Oh, thanks, Fang and Claw Hobbies. G'day, Jetshroom. Thanks, Cedro Miniatures. Hey, Nosferatu. Hello, 20 Dove Web. Hi, Stella. How are you, mate? How was your stream? Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, we're in an interesting phase with this model at the moment. It's part of a larger diorama. I might just grab a photo for everyone that's here. Have a look at. So we're just feeling our way with the lighting and everything at the moment. Let me grab you all a photo so you can see what's happening with the diorama, and it might make a bit more sense. Oh, thank you. That's great. I'll show you this in the meantime. So this is the model that's going to be raffled off, not raffled, given away on stream to the random subscriber on my channel at the end of the month. It's going to be great. And yep, so that's her. And yeah, of course you have your permission, mate. You don't have to ask my permission to redeem. You can ask any time. And this is another one I painted on stream the other night. So it's all going well. What are we singing, Wampa? And people can make me sing a song too. Thanks, Fang and Claw. So this is a diorama based on R.A. Salvatore's book series from Icewind Dale. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody who loves me. So it's a diorama. Sorry in advance. Sorry, everyone. It's a diorama based on Icewind Dale. So if you've read the book series, you'll know the characters. They all look pretty familiar. Sorry, Jim. And if you haven't read the book series, it'll just look like a random D&D party. So there you go. But that's what the eventual diorama is going to look like. So I'm only halfway through, or a quarter of the way through, starting painting these guys. Oh, my stream's frozen. Stand by. Thanks, Jetshroom. That's amazing. Yeah, it's gonna probably take up the majority of the next few weeks on stream, I would think. But we'll get there. Agrovision. Thanks for following, champion. Yeah, still a fair way off. Fair way off. That's alright. It's going to be fun. Probably not going to do quite all of it on stream, but I'll do a lot of it. I'm definitely not going to paint the base on stream, I'll tell you that right now. Can't even fit it underneath my camera. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody who loves me. Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. Don't you want to dance? Yeah. Oh, Michael Bolton. Oh. Michael Bolton. How good was The Lonely Island and Michael Bolton's Jack Sparrow? It's so good. Dr. Flink, I'd love to roast you, mate. Let's have a look. But I'm confident I don't need to give you much feedback, mate. Now back in the club. Keira Knightley, Jack Sparrow. This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow. Pirates so brave on the seven seas, on a mystical quest to the Isle of Tortuga. Davy Jones' locker, what lies in store? All right, let's have a look. Let's do some proper feedback now, friends. So if you want feedback from the Big Danielson, I'm happy to provide. But we have a rule on feedback. It is I'm gonna fucking smash you very, very hard. So if you're uncomfortable with that, don't post stuff. We all need some hard truths sometimes, and the hard truths are what will help us get better. All right. So I like this a lot, Dr. Flink. There's a few elements of it that I think don't work for me, but they're more related to the sculpt. I think the base is shithouse, right? Just looks really poorly sculpted and detracts from the model for mine. I mean, you have a contrast between the smooth skin and the textured base, but yeah, not a fan of the base at all. Having said that, I like the shape of the base. I think it really creates a nice line and gives you some interesting dynamic movement in the model. The model's already quite dynamic to begin with, but yeah, that just sort of adds to that fact. Love the red to blue transitions, particularly from that second angle, and that third angle you can see on the imager page. Really great. Love the red tones in the back. The focal point is clearly the face when you look at that photo, which is fantastic. But the eyes look inhuman, but not in a good way. Bit hard to explain what I mean by that. I just, when I look at them, she's sort of humanoid, right? So I would expect her to have humanoid eyes, and they're kind of like demonic eyes, and for some reason they don't quite gel. I like that they're orange, which is a nice contrast to the blues. But yeah, I think you could have maybe done like lion's eyes or cat's eyes or something else, and have them have that little bit more humanness to it. I think that would help to draw that up. The hair's shithouse, but it's also shithouse sculpt, so hard to do much with that. But if anything, I think you could have. Oh yeah. I see what you're trying to do, but it doesn't quite work for me. Yeah, but I think probably my only other criticism of that piece is just like saturation is my bag, and that's a very desaturated palette, and I reckon something more saturated on the model, just a little bit more pop, like the orange in the eyes, but maybe less orange, might have helped. This one, on the other hand, I think is fantastic. You nailed the saturated to desaturated side. Again, few critiques. When I look at that shoulder, wildly different value to the face, and it shouldn't be that different. Clearly you want to draw focus on the face, which is fantastic, but that shoulder and that neck should be very close to that same value of that face area. Yeah, and the texturing on that leather is really, really nice. But I think you could have maybe added even more texture and some little really light scratches and some dark colours. I think probably the only weakness of the leather is there's not enough colour in it. Love the feathers, love the metallic effect. The dark side's quite nice too. This is an angle that probably shows that light to dark side better than the other ones. Yeah, so you get that really nice. There you go. Yeah, you can tell. But yeah, I really like that, and I think that there's a nice harmony of colours in that. You feel like everything is in the same atmosphere and environment, even though you've got different coloured elements. You feel like it's all harmonious, which is a nice effect. And you're a jet, mate. You should paint more stuff and post pictures of it. Stop being a weak fuck. Just smash it out. Get it done. Oh, thanks, White Squirrel. I reckon the majority of my feedback will be rinse and repeat for just about everyone. Because invariably it's just the same issues that plague a lot of models. Same issues that plague my models, really. But yeah, you don't really need feedback from me, mate, I don't reckon. Oh, Fang and Claw Hobbies, thanks, buddy. Get to bed, mate. That's a long sesh right there. Jeepers. Thanks for the follow. It's a real shame you're not going to get to redeem those points tonight, Randall. What a shame. See you, Lord Shader. You're amazing, mate. Have a great day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it may be. See, I feel like you've built it up in your mind now, Randall. It's never going to be. Never going to be as good as you hoped. going to be like sex for the first time, mate. Very short, very uncomfortable, and probably get sticky. Oh, well, we're almost reaching the end of the stream, friends. Hope everyone's had an enjoyable evening tonight. I think we've made some good progress on Regus. Little rumble belly. Definitely need to keep chipping away. Absolutely Viking with brushes, absolutely AC Miniatures, and Styler Rebel. I would love to answer that question. I can probably answer it more effectively if you go back and watch the stream from 2 days ago. One of my streams, I pulled my camera off this rig and showed my setup, but basically I have one light here that is in between the model, it's just sitting there, right on the model, and then I have a second one here, and that one's illuminating my melon and also the pallet cam with some illumination. That's it. 2 lights. But yeah, if you want to see how the whole setup looks, yeah, I think it was 2 streams ago I pulled it off and have a look at the whole setup, so you can go check it out if you want. Thanks, Scalify. Yeah, it's a cool little dude, and I think we're getting that sense of sunlight from him too, which is nice. It feels like quite warm from the front, so that's cool. A lot of work to go, lots of little tweaks and shit, but yeah, pretty good. Yeah, he's got great feet, hasn't he? Look at this bad boy, look at that one. Oof. Oh mate, I have had people offer to sponsor me for things, but yeah, I don't do that stuff. I will promote products I like, because I like the products. I will bag out products I don't like because I don't like them. And that's that. That's how Big Dino rolls. Cool. Alright, I just want to do a little bit more on the green, friends, on the green cloak, and just tweak that a bit. Let's have a look at Viking with brushes work first. Let's have a bo peep. Whoa, awesome! That's some crazy shit, dude. That's just my Instagram notifications, guys. That's what I get every time I open Instagram. Don't worry. That's just business as usual for the big man. All right, here we go. Hey, Voodoo. So I tell you what. I'm loving everything about this at the moment, but I don't think you progressed enough to get any really good feedback. Love the forearm non-metallic metal reflecting the ground if the ground is going to be that orange colour. Love the tones in the metal on the shoulders. Love it. Feeling it a lot. Skin tone may need work, but I feel like I'll answer that better when we get more progressed. But if everything looks like that whole top section does right now, this is going to be so legit. But I'll caveat that and say, if everything looks like that, you won't have enough contrast and variation across the whole piece. And you'll have a model that's got a lot of areas that are fighting with each other for attention. So maybe look at ways you can break that up a little bit with perhaps some paint patterns or something. But yeah, keep going with that, because I think once you get a little bit more progressed, you'll get a much better sense of how the model's going and might need work. But yeah, that's super legit, man. That's awesome. AC Miniatures. Holy shit, everyone in this chat's fucking legit! What the shit, Lana? Lana! You know what I'd like to see? A grayscale of that. Because I reckon the focal point is that bronze medallion. I reckon that's the highest value on the model. Because when I look at it, I'm just drawn to that. So this is like a conceptual piece of feedback as opposed to technical, because I think your technical skills are obviously fine. The OSL's spot on. You can maybe have a little bit more of the blue down the bottom on the left. But yeah, the one issue that I'm seeing is that you've got a very high value object at the bottom of the model, which just makes me want to look down. So you could rectify that by really upping the intensity of the blue light. You could rectify that by adding even more value to the grey, or potentially by pumping up the eyes and having the eyes just be piercing if you want to keep that same black tones. But that's, you know, there'd be some people who lose their shit over that, because it's technically very, very beautiful. I love all of the reflections. From a non-metallic metal perspective, it's clear that's what you're going for. Doesn't quite read as metal. What you've done is you've used the non-metallic metal technique that people who don't know how to paint non-metallic metal do, which is you go shadow right next to light on opposite planes. And that sort of works, right? You get the idea, but the non-metallic metal in reality doesn't quite act like that. So you maybe just want to start looking into some different approaches to non-metallic metal and perhaps looking to try and elevate that, because I think you got the capability there, your skill set's good, mate, so time to get into some more advanced shit. But yeah, really awesome, mate, really good stuff. Who's next? What are we up to? Frog Jim. Oh, where's Studi? If you've got Kirill's book, that's fucking. But it's probably one of the only sort of things I don't have a good source for learning on, actually, now that I think of it, because it's very dependent on the style and the technique that you use. You know, don't worry guys, that's pretty normal for me getting on the Instagrams. No stress. That's just what I have. That's what I do. That's what I do. Where's Studi from Last of the Mohicans? Here he is. The big man. Magua. So the skin tone is obviously a work in progress. And it's got a very pastel feeling to it. You've lost one of the real challenges of what, in my experience of miniature painting and painting in general, I guess, is being able to get enough value without losing saturation. So your value is adding white to a color, right? Because that's increasing the brightness of the color. So you want it to be bright because that's how you have highlights and shadows. But doing that is actually desaturating the color, because white is a grey. It's a grey color, so it's actually desaturating the color. So when you add white to create highlights, you're actually desaturating and making everything look a little bit more pastel. Yep. And that's because black and white, even if they're not quite black, pure black or pure white, are desaturating things. So what you need to think about is roughly the technique that I use, but perhaps not quite as aggressive as me, using glazes of a colour that is a much more, what we would call a mid-tone in the Games Workshop universe, but a much more saturated colour that doesn't have any white in it, and just doing a really thin glaze over all of your skin tone to add some richness back into the skin. I use red a lot. This is one of the colours I use for doing this shit. It's Escarlata. I use that to add some stuff, and that's actually exactly the reason I use peanut butter, right? It's a very saturated orangey sort of skin tone, tan skin tone. So when I glaze that over the top of the skin tone, you can still have that value shift from top to bottom, but you get a much more intense colour. I mean this here is a skin tone that if you were to look at the high point, I mean it's probably the same sort of high value colours that you're using, right? Thanks Dominican Andoto. We're going to finish up soon, mate, but glad you got on the stream. That's awesome. But you can see how much more of a mid-tone this colour is. Now your darkest shadows are not dark enough, but I think see you mate. Oh no, that's you saying hello, aren't you? Hello. Yeah, so just that would be my first step, right? I would suggest glaze in a mid-tone colour, very saturated, very powerful colour. That will bring some vibrancy back into the skin. You can use those glazes to add some little nuances of colour. There's some of that scarlet there, right? You can see that. A lot of purple over here. Even though we haven't got the purple reflected light, there's actually purple glazed in there. And really focus on getting those deep shadows. Try mixing in purples. I know I can see you've mixed in a purple there, but you haven't mixed a saturated purple, you've mixed a desaturated purple. So again, what you're doing is you're just adding to that problem by using all greyish colours. Desaturation is more grey in the colour. That's bringing all of your values down and making everything look pastel. It's one of the biggest challenges of painting is contrast, is value change, and saturation versus desaturation change. Being able to marry up those two things is the big challenge. So, and we've got our final one for Jet Shroom. Final critique for the night. Boom. Don't worry guys, that's normal for my Instagram. We just see that every time I open it up. That's probably 3 different comments, by the way. You're coming to Crystal Dragon. That's cool. That's cool. I'd like to see a closer photo. Sharkwell, don't be like that, mate. That's because I'm a popular guy. I'd like to see a closer photo. Yep, I'll post it on YouTube later on, Dominican and Dodo. When I look at the model, I'm drawn to the chest with the star. I don't know if that's where I should be looking. I should probably be looking at the face. Kingdom Death models are tricky though. Look at that ass. Looks like you got some good technical stuff there, right? Some good capabilities, but I would suggest where you need to focus on is looking at the model holistically. So when I was talking before about contrast, I was specifically talking about a single volume, the skin. But when you look at a model, you need to contemplate the contrast as a whole. And so there needs to be contrast between each different volume on the model, as well as within each volume. And so by that I mean, if you have two colours that are a similar value side by side, then you tend to get lost in those colours. You don't see them as much, even if they're quite saturated versions of those colours. Because they're the same value, they'll fight for attention. Whereas if you put a dark colour beside a light colour, then what you're doing is you're increasing the attention that you have on that light colour and giving more change between the two. So that the definition of contrast is the juxtaposition of strikingly different elements. Look it up, big demo. So you want to have a juxtaposition between a light and a dark side by side. And you can think about that even more by, if you had a whole model from top to bottom that was dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, all of a sudden you've got a whole model that's interesting to look at. But in many ways, that's not going to give you a clear focal point. And I talk a lot about focal points because I think it's really important when you've got a miniature that's such a small object. You really want something to draw people's eyes. You want something to be a clear, focused area where they can look at and understand what they're looking at. The contrast helps that, and particularly if you do skin tone in a high value, which is usually what you do most of the time. People will be drawn to the face. They'll be drawn to that central focal point, and you can reinforce that by doing dark hair or dark elements around that face, so the face is elevated even more. But there's a few issues with that model which I look at, which is that we have a similar value from top to bottom. Everything feels like it's in the same value range. So I don't want to get too far into it, but we have a thing called the value scale, which basically is 0 to 10. 0 is black, so that's purely dark, nothing, shadow. 10 is the lightest, so white, right? And we can plot every area of the model on that value scale, right? So the lightest lights will be 10s, the darkest shadows will be 0s. Where your model is going wrong is that most of your colours are probably sitting in the 4 to 6 range. And that's a hard thing to step out of as you move into display painting, away from gaming. You do want to start really trying to push your contrast. The more value changes you can get in your model, even if you don't end up there the whole time, the better it's going to look. So I'm just going to use just a couple of examples here because I remembered how to do this. So this guy here, right, he looks pretty cool. So we're just going to do this. So what we can see here is I've got a high value waistcoat, and then I've also got a high value face. The face isn't finished yet. You would have seen me working on the face more just before we got into this, because you can see the face needs a little bit more elevation in terms of the values. And you can see how dark this thing is, right? That's helping to reinforce the high value of the face, and it's creating a clear separation from this high value and this high value by having a dark element in between. So that's one example. That's the work in progress. Obviously, we'll have a look at Eileen as well, because she's pretty similar. So this is a bit more evident on this, where the focal point is on this model. We're going from a very light, high value up the top, and then down into the darker colours at the bottom. Now, when you look at this without the saturation turned off, boo! Oh, gone too far there, didn't I? You can see that there's still quite a lot of colour and a lot of saturation in this area, right? A lot of colours, but because it's a low value, when you look at the piece, you're not drawn to that saturated area, even though it's got a lot of colour in it. You still tend to lean towards that top area. And the final, I've got these here, so I might as well show these ones. So this is Bubba Yaga. I didn't do too much on the values on this. I didn't really think too much about it because I was trying to use desaturated colours. But you can see that we've got a high value, few high value points. This is actually not quite as high value as this, or the front mask is not quite as high a value as this area up here. That's actually higher. But this is the clear focal point, right? You're drawn to that section there. These are also probably higher value than I needed them to be. But because of the flow of the model, the shape of the model, you are drawn to the central component anyway, right? That's just part of the way the model's designed. But again, you can see that clear delineation from top down, how these are darker value. This is a bit of an exception, but this is some detail, so we're providing some contrast to all the smoothness down here. We've got some texture and some interesting stuff there. And then we'll grab Maddox out, because I think he's probably the best example of this. Hard model to get a focal point on because you don't have that face, you don't have the key element that you're drawn towards. Instead, we've had to sort of artificially create a focal point with this helmet by having that helmet be quite reflective, but also trying to have everything drawn into the center here. Now you look at those skulls, right? The skulls are a great example of they're shit to paint, so that's part of the reason why they look that dark and shit, but they also need to be darker value than the skin tone so they don't get lost in the skin tone. I mean, I could do this for pretty much all my models and you'd be able to see that I have a similar approach where we've got light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, without even thinking too much about it. And you can also see how much less value change there is down here and here. Right, so if we go back to that value scale, this probably a 3 to 5. Just remember how intense this pink is, right? See a phasoid. This is pink right here. It's fucking vibrant as shit, but it's a low value. Yeah, so you can see how much less contrast there is in this area. And what we've done also is we've got lower values here and here, even on the pink in here. See how low that value is? Even though it's vibrant and saturated, it's a low value. And so that allows this model to be more of a focal point. Even though there's saturated colours, we can still get a sense of what the fuck is happening. Boom. Well, as I crank the saturation. Boom! That's the fucking best! I should paint all my models to look like that. Woo! Honestly, mate, that whole thing, that whole conversation I've just had there, I'll have that 100 times over the next 6 months because it's the challenge that everyone faces. I still face it every day. My problem is I overuse saturation and I don't work with desaturated colours enough. My problem is I sometimes go too much value contrast. So, yeah. But as long as and again, this is the most important point I'll probably make. As long as you understand the rules, you can do whatever the fuck you want, because you can realize what you're doing, and break them. The number one rule, the only rule you have to do, is the rule of cool. So if something's going to look cool, get into it. Just do it. Have fun. But just knowing the value and all those things, understand how they all interact. They're all levers that you can control in your miniature painting, and any painting I suppose, that you can control to create visual interest, which is ultimately what we're trying to do. I just want to do a bit more on this green on Regus's cloak, and then I'm going to get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. G'day Kung Fu Shrew. So all that stuff like I'm talking about, that's all knowledge stuff that is good information to have, but until you reinforce that knowledge by sitting down and painting and practicing values and contrasts and what have you, it's just noises in the wind, friends. Just two guys sitting on a park bench having a conversation. Peace be the journey, Lopez, to you too. Oh, thanks Iodine. You're a subscriber. You're amazing. Thanks, mate. Well, at the end of the month, we're going to do a raffle, a random draw for that model over in the corner. So I hope you win. Yeah, lockdown was sensational for me, and I say that with utmost respect for people that have had challenges throughout coronavirus, COVIDs, and all that sort of stuff. But it was just awesome. Like I got to have a legitimate reason to just stay at home and paint all the fucking time. It was just so good. Yeah, I mean that's me as well. Like about the only thing I had to do, I went for a run one day and I had to wear a mask. That was about it. That was tough. Felt like I was doing altitude training. I was fucking gassed. Good for you, mate. You've achieved something. Green's always such an easy colour to paint, friends. If you're unsure what colour to paint something, my answer is always green. 6'7" champion. But you know why green's the best is because you get to highlight it with yellow. It's fucking so good. Now, you know why that is, Flickster? It's because speed is confidence. Mini Den highlighted it very well the other night. Speed is confidence. And what people want to see from you is confidence. You're a very, very good Twitch streamer. A lot of rabid fans. They all want to see you demonstrate the same confidence in your painting that you demonstrate in your life, pal. And I am keen for you to be quicker because I think you are holding yourself back. Maybe unintentionally. Now, Flix is okay. He's not great. Let's not fucking go overboard here. He goes okay. He's going right into the danger zone. What are you... Yeah, confidence in your own abilities, mate. That's what we want to see because that is crucial to enjoying your shit. What am I singing, Rumble? Don't make it danger zone because that's the only words I know to danger zone. We're finishing the stream off with a song, it looks like, friends. Rumble, you gotta pick a song. Oh fuck. You know, I think I can only recall the chorus to that. I'll give you a freebie. Come up with something else, because I don't think I can do that other than take my breath away. That's all I got. No, 'Cause you're hungry like the wolf. I don't know. That's... A lot of these songs you guys are picking are before my time. I'm a young pup. I'm only familiar with 90s. Jan, what are you making me sing? I haven't even sung Rumble's song yet. Now you're making me sing as well. What do I go? I'm gonna go look up the lyrics. 99 days of 99 da, 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 da. I'm gonna try and spell it. No, I can't. That's all in German, mate. How the fuck am I gonna sing that? You're killing me. All right, I can definitely do the line "Sleeps Tonight." Oh we mow it, 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 oh we mow it. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Away, we are away. I did start that way too high. Fucking way too high. I normally go at a bit lower register so I can go all the way up to the top, but nah, we're going way high tonight. My favourite song is actually The Darkness. You remember The Darkness? I believe in God love. Ooh, guitar. Sorry, Napster. Very much apologies for that awful rendition of of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Jan, what do you got, mate? What do you got? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. In the vision softly creeping, it was when I was sleeping. And the visions that was planted in my brains still remains within the sound of silence. Boom, 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 boom. In restless streets I walk alone. Yellow streets with cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. Another good YouTube version, by the way, friends. Thanks, Napster. Are you the real Napster? Are you the guy that does the app that people listen to music on? Because if you are, you can rip any of my songs, champ. There's a a cappella group that do a version of that Sound of Silence by, I can't fucking think of their name. Some fucker will say it in the chat for sure because I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna Google it because I fucking should know this. I really like the version. Pentatonics, there you go. Pentatonics. They're a a cappella group. Oh, here's the link. No, different one. Good version of that. Love me some a cappella. Love it. All right, friends. Good stream tonight. Bit of fun. We're going to give away this girl at the end of the month. So March, what's that? March 31st. We're going to give her away. Some lucky duck. Going to get that. And yeah, good fun. I'm back on Wednesday night, streaming again. At this stage, I reckon we might get into a bit of Bruin or Battlehammer. This should be fun with the non-metallic metal Warm Dawn Reflections. We're going to have to try and fucking figure out on this piece of shit. So that is going to be a novel experience. By that stage, I'm hoping I will have done some... I'll finish off the base sculpting and I'll be able to spray the base black so we can put them on there and actually start getting a bit better sense. At the moment, you can't really do that because there's too much stuff on the base. But yeah, we'll hopefully have that ready to go. So that'll be 3 out of 3. So here's the 2 thus far, the 2 friends. Again, feels pretty harmonious. Feels like they're in a similar environment. Caddy Bree's face still not done, and we will need to keep working on quite a few areas on this model. Now, so Kung Fu, what we're going to do for this type of project where we've got lots of competing models and lots of focal points, we need to not like finish something, because if we finish something and then we realise it doesn't work for the narrative and the whole piece, then we've just wasted fucking time, right? So we're going to get them all to this sort of sketchy, fairly progressed stage where we can then refine and bring everything together. At the moment, right, so what we've got is this is sort of the angle that Regas sits on, and Caddy Bree's on this angle. So we should have a consistent lighting effect when we turn both of them. And at the moment, Caddy Bree's got purple and he's got green. Not optimal. There's a reason for that. Caddy Bree's going to be up against some rocks, with the back against the rocks. It's going to be roughly purplish rocks, hence the purple. Whereas he's going to be green. Yeah. Hey, look, we may find this doesn't work. We may find this project busts completely. I don't think it will. I don't mind. We'll see. It's time to raid, motherfuckers! Raid! Who can we raid? Phoenix has got 2 viewers. Fuck, it'd be good to just pump Phoenix up, wouldn't it? What a guy. He's a good painter, actually, Phoenix. But let's find raid against the machines. Thanks, Captain Carb. Thanks, Gallo Fire. I will probably do the basing off stream, Voodoo. It's much too big to try and do. Thanks, Stainbeard Jim. Nosferatu. Thank you. Let's, okay, I'm going to find someone to raid. Happy to take suggestions here, friends. We'll just go and have a browse of the miniature tag. Who we got going on? Oh, Deno's streaming. That guy's fucking great. Hobby Hangout with Ruby and Becca. Roll 1 to explode. Did we watch them previously? Did we have a look at them previously? Kind of feel like we did. Maybe I'm wrong. Some guy's painting Teclis. I don't like Teclis. Bloodborne, Murder Thy Art. Phoenix is painting Dark Angels. Phoenix, I fucking hate Dark Angels, mate. Don't paint them. They're shit out. What do we got on roll 1 to explode? What are you guys painting?
Schedule if I'm going to paint it on.
Here we go. Let's do Hobby Hangout with Ruby and Becca and roll 1 to explode. Did I already get into them? I don't remember. Did I already raid them? Fuck it, we'll raid them. Let's fucking go. Fucking raid, motherfuckers! Raid! Raid! Thanks for a great stream, friends. You're all awesome. See you Wednesday night if you join. If not, that's fine as well. Have a great week. Raid!
Hobby hangouts occasionally in the afternoon/evening time. Oh shit.
Right.
We've just been raided. As we're finishing? No, I'm not doing my usual thing of saying we're just going to take a large mouse onto the next person. Oh dear. Hello, Big Dino. How are you doing? How was your stream? Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, a username that I'm really a fan of.
Would you like to talk a little bit about your Viking